Alright. For Sonic fans, Gamescom is the gift that keeps on giving. We've got so much more to share today, including a full 15-minute playthrough of Sonic Frontiers' demo, more of the Cyberspace stages to discuss, some new looks at the cutscenes, and some of the characters that are going to be appearing in the game.
Halt, human! Before you may proceed with the video, you need to be scanned to see if you have subscribed to the channel or not. If you wish to survive, subscribe to the channel now. Beep boop scan successful. Don't forget to like the video on your way out. But remember, all of this content is made possible thanks to the great patrons, and if you would like to become one, you can hit the link in the description below to help Pop Overlord out. Enjoy the video.
Now, I also just want to put out there, I am trying to gather sources for this video so I can kind of put down the credits of who each video belongs to, but like a lot of these are found on Twitter, reposted by people. It's very difficult to keep track, so not all of the videos are going to have a credit or a citation on them. I'm sorry. Let me know if any of the video you see here is yours. You put a comment below and I'll credit you in a pinned comment. I'm generally not really about reposting other people's videos as such, but I think like when it comes down to gameplay, it's a bit more of a fair field, I guess. But you know, I will try and credit where I can. First, the slider menu. So in the previous video, I showed you the speed slider, which adjusts Sonic's starting speed, but there's a whole lot more here. You can adjust his starting speed, his ending speed, his turning speed, plus adjustments for boosting speeds too. And I have also heard from people that did get to play the demo that there are two modes of gameplay as well. There's like the action mode and the high speed mode. Action mode being you get unlimited boost, but your boost's a lot slower, and Sonic in general is a lot slower, where high speed mode, the boost has to recharge over time, but you do get to go quite a bit faster. I think high speed mode's gonna be the mode for me. And yeah, we can see how that little boost heads up display is going to look. I really am not fond of how it sits next to Sonic on screen. I would much rather that be in the bottom left corner, because that boost ring is literally slap bang in the middle of the screen. We've also got another look at the controls, and as I previously mentioned, yes, there are some controls returning, such as the light speed dash and what I thought was the bounce bracelet, but it turns out it's more just a stomp 3 times. Not really sure why you need that. Drop dash is back, as you will see in some gameplay footage a little later on, and in my previous video I said it sounds like the drift isn't back, but apparently it is. It's here. It's on the bottom button of the D-pad. I'm not sure how you're going to be able to control Sonic while drifting if your left hand is both on the joystick and on the D-pad. It's going to be interesting. We're going to see how that plays out. Also, the unleashed style of homing attack. According to this control scheme here, the homing attack is now relegated to the X button if you're on an Xbox controller, and the square button if you are on the PlayStation. Now, I gotta admit, I definitely prefer when the homing attack is mapped to the jump button as well. With that said, though, it does at least mean that if I'm trying to double jump or trying to drop dash, I'm not going to accidentally end up homing onto anything nearby, be it a spring or an enemy. And given that the boost is on the right trigger, it means that, you know, we're not going to have to worry about accidentally boosting in midair when trying to homing attack either. So I guess this sounds like a really good way of doing it. It's just going to take some time to get used to that sort of muscle memory of going from the jump button to the... Anyways, yeah, you get the point. Let's start by taking a look at some of these cyberspace stages. I'm just going to go ahead and roll the footage and then I'll talk about it after. we have what looks like Green Hill Zone at the sunset, and it's much more evident that this thing is floating in the air. While I'm still standing by my stance of, you know, please don't keep bringing back levels, especially the same levels we keep seeing repeatedly, I have to say, this does look like they have at least done something substantially new with Green Hill Zone. I am noticing that since yesterday's footage of 1-1, which was the tutorial stage, being very similar to the layout of the first Windmill Isle stage from Sonic Unleashed, people are kind of going a bit overboard saying, oh, and this is also ripped from this level. There are definitely some set pieces that, yeah, have been pulled from Sonic Generations and Unleashed, but to be fair, a lot of these are staples of Sonic as a franchise. It's getting to a point where it's like, oh, did you see that? There was a hill and a loop-de-loop. That's totally lifted from Generations and Unleashed. And I mean, if that's the case, we were all saying we wanted level design to be a bit more Generations and Unleashed. And I'll say this, I'm definitely seeing some improvements from like the Sonic Forces style of level design. Yes, these are very short, but they do at least appear to be a bit more interactive, and at the same time, they do look very thrilling. But again, I think they also do play a very different role in the game to what like Sonic Forces stages did, where they were the entire game. This is just like a side thing. It's another layer to the game. A lot of people are saying they're completely optional. I don't know if they're completely optional. We'll have to kind of see. But put it this way, short stages as an accompaniment to something bigger is a lot better than a game that's just completely made up of short stages. And this Green Hill stage here looks fun. And visually seeing the Green Hill stuff in the sunset sky floating in the air, gotta say that actually looks kind of beautiful. Now I'm gonna just roll the footage we have of Chemical Plant. Now, honestly, part of me is just grateful we got a fully 3D Chemical Plant stage, because the modern Chemical Plant stages we've had in both Sonic Forces and Sonic Generations have been mostly just 2D levels that are bookended by 3D set pieces. Here, it's just fully 3D action. And there's definitely a cool section of platforming and combat in the middle of this stage, but for the most part, it looks like we are just holding forwards for this one. I can see what the IGN guy meant during the Cyberspace Q&A, where he said that these levels feel incredibly focused on, like, a specific thing. And I can also kind of see what Sonic Stadium meant when they said that these levels look quite arcadey. At the same time, again, while I'm quite blasé about the returning level themes, it does appear that they've done something quite creative with it. I like the way all of the tubes are floating in the sky and the sky's all red. Like, again, like visually, this actually looks really cool. And now we're gonna roll a bit of the city stage as well, which a lot of people are saying is Radical Highway. So this right here is obviously a fully 2D stage, but with dynamic camera angles. Now, I'm gonna say this, yes, I am getting a little tired of 2D constantly making its way into 3D Sonic games, but I think given the structure of Cyberspace, and that these are all kind of levels revolving around specific gimmicks, just bite-sized little focused things, I guess it doesn't hurt to throw in some 2D to keep things fresh. And as it is, this is like one of the only bits of 2D we've seen of this game. It still appears to be a vast majority 3D. But I mean, I guess what I'm saying here is it looks fun. It actually looks quite fun. I think maybe it's just helped by the fact that the stage is committed to just being 2D as opposed to like flip-flopping between the two. Next up, we have a look at the first Titan boss fight, or what I assume is the first of the Titans. Although this does definitely look to be more of an interactive cutscene kind of deal, or something of a QuickTime event, as there's a lot of like dynamic camera work going on here, which I do really like. It gives a sense of the scope, and then Sonic gets his ass handed to him. If we're doing like interactive cutscenes in this, but we still get to like fight the Titans, then that's kind of cool. I think I'm still stuck in that like Forces mode of like, oh, I want everything to be substantial, but it does appear that there's lots and lots and lots of content here to actually play with. We're now going to quickly look at some cutscenes. Now, I guess I'm just going to talk over these ones. Basically, it's kind of as I kind of suspected from the looks of things, that the CGI cutscenes that we saw in that trailer were just for the trailer, as we are seeing like cutscenes that are basically the same as the CGI ones, like Sonic discovering Amy, but they are all in-game, which doesn't look anywhere near as good as the CGI, and I am hoping that there is still some CGI in this game to some capacity, because I really like the cinematic quality it gives to Sonic games such as Sonic Unleashed and Sonic 06. As it stands, I still think the cutscenes look plenty fine enough, like the characters at least move and animate a bit more naturally than they did in, say, Sonic Forces. Man, we do say that F word a lot, don't we? Look, it's the last game we had, and it set a precedent that people aren't happy with, okay? We're naturally going to compare. But yeah, this does look a whole lot better. I think Amy actually animates really nicely. We've also got Dr. Robotnik in the Radical Highway, so like we can see that he is going to have quite a substantial role being lost in this cyberspace place. You can't really read the text on screen, but it basically says, you know, Dr. Robotnik is basically saying he wanted to make something like this, but this is a whole lot more advanced than his version, so I guess that's linking into how he's going to harness his sort of power. I don't know, this is substantial because this is the first we've actually seen of him in the game. And here's Big the Cat. I don't know, I'm getting a kick out of seeing all these characters, man. So now we're gonna play a 15-minute full playthrough of the demo, which is from Rob on Twitter. Thanks, Rob. Take it away. definitely giving us our best look at this gameplay loop, how you're discovering new parts of the island. And hot damn, Rob's actually really good at this game. It's nice to see a player in these demo booths that actually really knows what they're doing. It's quite a cool little thing as well that they have these little interactive tutorials play while the game loads up. I mean, I do wonder how much time we're going to spend on these load times, given that we are now in the age of the SSD in the PS5 and Xbox Series S. We'll have to see. But this all reminds me of the loading screens from Assassin's Creed, which I can't complain about. That's awesome. It's just cool seeing the guy discover parts of the island. It's cool seeing the drop dash in action. I really like that Rob has given us quite a comprehensive look at Sonic's abilities here, such as we're also seeing the Psy loop used, like, effectively. Like, yeah, like, it's a really good playthrough. We've also got to look at Sky Sanctuary as well. Now, yeah, we had a little look at a segment of the level in the last video. Here we've got a full playthrough, and like, we did have a full playthrough at the time I made the last one. It's just it had a cable in the way, so I didn't want to use that. And yeah, this is the second level in the game, so it's not going Green Hill Chemical Plant, it's now going Green Hill Sky Sanctuary, and then I think the city level, and then Chemical Plant. And it does look like there's actually quite a fair little bit of platforming here. Like, there is a lot of grind rail stuff, and maybe, perhaps, dare I say, an over-reliance on grind rail stuff. But still, it looks fun, it looks exciting, and we do get to see it kind of in the grand scheme of things. We get to see cyberspace in the grand scheme of things. And like I said, yeah, it looks like a fun little pace breaker. I guess that is the mistake that I've been making, and I think a lot of Sonic fans have been making, is kind of expecting Sonic Frontiers to basically be like Sonic Generations built on top of an open zone Sonic game. And that's not what this is. These are just bite-sized stages, just like we were promised, really. So now that we've kind of seen the gameplay loop in action, I have to say, this looks fantastic. The potential, I would say, is absolutely there for this to be the best Sonic game in years, maybe even the best Sonic game ever. And before you call recency bias, listen, I don't think the classics are the best Sonic games ever made. I think, you know, the bar for best Sonic game ever is one that Sega can absolutely clear, which makes it all the more frustrating that, like, you know, they haven't cleared it after all these years. But that's just my own perspective, you know, like, you might disagree. Like, I mean, the thing is, like, you know, it's gonna take a lot to get me to love this game more than I love, say, Sonic Adventure 2, but I think a better game could be within our sights. I don't know. I have no idea, but I'm absolutely hyped for this. This looks amazing. So why don't you guys in the comments now take it from here? You guys discuss this and be cool with each other, okay? Don't go invalidating someone just because their opinion is different than you. This is the last time I'm gonna say it, right? Because I shouldn't have to say it. This should be common sense. This should be common goddamn sense. Well, that sounds like I'm ending the video on a negative note. No, I think the game looks great. I look forward to hearing what you guys have to say. I say, you've made it to the end of the video! Congrats. No, but seriously, thanks a bunch for watching. And just now, I'll be extending a special thanks to the patrons in the $10 tier, who are the amazing Adam Myers, the courageous Ken K, the legendary Ray Ray, the magnificent Mr. SP, and the super Sergio. What an amazing and generous bunch of people. Thank you guys so much for your support. And if you want to join the ranks of these amazing people right here, the link to my Patreon is in the description below. Guys, these are not the easiest times in the world financially, so every little bit you folks are donating is doing wonders. I really would love to be able to do YouTube as a proper fully fledged career someday. It might just be a pipe dream, but maybe you guys can prove some people wrong. But of course, if donations aren't your thing, then, well, it means plenty to me that you just hit that cute little subscribe button over there. I didn't mean hit that way. Well, that's me done for the day. Thanks a whole bunch for your support, and have a fantastic day. I'm gonna see you so soon.